Most celebrity whiskey ain't worth a dime, and we the community should be raising a fuss and a holler when that is the case. Today we're talking about Alan Jackson's whiskey brand, Silverbelly Whiskey. We got 3 bourbons in front of us. We're going to try them and let you know what we think about them. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh, and we are your designated drinkers. Today we are trying Silverbelly Whiskey, Alan Jackson's brand. I have gotten into these a little bit just to get an idea of what we're walking into. Erin has not tried these at all.
I've not tasted any of these.
These were given to us by Silverbelly. However, we're going to be completely honest in our opinions. We're not required to do a review or anything like that. We just thought these were fun bottles to review for you guys. Brand we had never heard of prior to them reaching out to us, and there's enough going on in these bottles that I think it's worth talking about at least a little bit, mainly because celebrity whiskey is such a taboo element or sphere of the overall bourbon industry. So yeah, want to get into these and check them out. So we thank you for tuning in today, whether it's midnight in Montgomery and you're watching this or it's 5 o'clock somewhere. All I know is that here in the real world, I've been working all week and I'm tired and I don't want to sleep and I want to have fun. So it's time for a good time. Let's pop a top and get into these. The first one up is going to be the 4-year. And one of the cool things about these is they're all age stated. So that is nice. The small batch is 4-year, the single barrel is 5-year, and then the special release is 6.5 years. Okay. This is 4-year whiskey, title I'd Love You All Over Again, 91 proof. Okay. Pretty, approachable proof point. Yeah. And there was a couple things that when I was talking to the team over there, which is a small team, and Alan Jackson and his daughter Maddie have say in all of these barrels. Okay. They are part of the selection process. It's not just another cash grab. We're going to stick our name on something with some royalties and make some money. They are a part of this process. I think you can go back and listen to Alan Jackson's country catalog, much like I did pretty much through my whole life growing up. Yeah. And, he's down for a good time, down to have some pours, down to have some fun. And this was kind of a passion project for him and his daughter as part of, what they got going on. So this is Tennessee whiskey. It is straight bourbon whiskey. Okay. But it is whiskey from Tennessee. And the mash bill on this 4-year is 80% corn, 10% rye, 10% malted barley, 91 proof. Let's get into it.
It smells very sweet.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
The 80
up your alley.
The 80% corn is definitely coming through with a lot of sweetness here, and then they like more of like a caramel vanilla type of way than anything. Yeah,
not like a fruit sweet. Definitely sugary sweet, which caramel is sugar.
Yeah, caramel vanilla honey is just bursting out of the glass. Yeah. That's what's hitting me on the nose about this one. Let's get it on the palate.
Oh, that's interesting. It's a little less sweet on the front and the mid palate than I expected it to be, but it is sweet on the back. So like the finish is as sweet as it smells, but the beginning of the sip is like more not rye based, but like
it's got a little bit more spice and liveliness.
Spice, yeah.
Not that it is overly spicy,
correct,
but there is an element there that's more than just the sweetness that makes it a little bit more interesting than you would expect.
And I honestly, being 91 proof, I wasn't expecting that. Like I wasn't expecting kind of the layered flavors. That's kind of impressive, honestly.
Now, here's the thing. We get contacted by a lot of companies to try whiskey, and this is the truth. A lot of them don't make it on the channel because maybe we try them in advance and they don't strike us as something unique or new in the market. This mash bill is not a mash bill that's out there a ton, especially with age statements and especially proof this way, and especially with Alan Jackson and his daughter Maddie, they're actually going out and having a say in what gets put in the bottles. So,
do you think most celebrity whiskeys, the celebrity is just the name?
Oh yeah.
Really?
That's what most of them are. I mean, they may taste like a little bit of a panel and say like, oh, that's pretty good or whatever. Yeah. But like a lot of times it is driven by the, whiskey's been hot and people want to capitalize on that. So they see an opportunity. So they get into the spirits world. Whereas like Alan Jackson and his daughter Maddie, she's a certified sommelier, ex-bar owner that's getting into the spirits world now, that's specifically cool. In whiskey. Alan Jackson's, whiskey's been a thing that he's enjoyed his whole life. So there's some credence behind the reason why these products are being produced. It's a passion project for them as much as it is a business, and they actually care about what's going in the bottle.
All right, we got a lot of whiskey to drink, so let's do less talking and more drinking. This is good. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'd say where I come from, that is good front porch sitting whiskey. Front porch sitting and sipping. So I do like that at at $40 to me.
Not bad. Yeah,
that's right on for
Yeah.
91 proof, nice, sweet, easy sipping like it is.
Yeah.
But interesting enough to be something different enough to want to try.
Yeah.
Winner in my book.
Not mad at the price tag.
The next product in price would be the single barrel 5-year. However, it is the highest proof by quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and go to the 6.5-year special release. This is an annual thing. And this is Alan Jackson's Silverbelly birthday whiskey. 6.5 years, 101.7 proof. And there are 1,958 bottles of this made. The reason why that
was he born in 1958?
He was born in 1958 on October the 17th, so 101.7, 1017. And this is, I'm checking my notes here, it is a unique mash bill that does not exist on the market except in this bottle of whiskey. No other bottle of whiskey on the market has this mash bill, which is 66% corn, 29% rye, 5% malted barley.
Interesting.
At 6.5 years old, distilled and aged here in Tennessee. And it is, again, a straight bourbon. So let's get into it.
Surprisingly, I'm not getting as much on the nose of this one.
Yeah, I think to me, the extra age shows on the nose here in that it is a little bit more balanced and chill. Like it's not jumping out of the glass quite as much with the sweetness as a first glass. It's a little bit more like all the sliders are even across the spectrum. But
I'm not getting anything from it, and which is surprising because I got more from this one on the nose.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm getting more of like the honey that was in this, the honey on this one is going a little darker to me. Like I'm getting more of just like a dark honey sweetness, and that's the predominant thing I'm getting. But I'm definitely not getting the brightness of the small batch. But I would bet on the nose, I would guess that the small batch would be more proofy than this. This is like more relaxed. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, just honey for days on this for me. Let's get it on the palate.
I feel like this is kind of like straight down home plate whiskey. I don't know how to feel about it. Like I like it, but I might like this one more. I don't know. I want to like this one more because it's older and it's proofier.
What's interesting to me is that you're going for the sweeter version of these two.
Yeah, I think I was just kind of surprised by this because there was some complexity to it. And so I think that bumped it up in my mind maybe higher than it should be.
You are a big expectations girl.
Yeah, and it exceeded my expectations.
There you go.
So this is good though. It's not bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I like this one better than the first glass. To me, personally speaking, I'm getting more oak on it, and I think that higher rye mash bill, that 29% rye mash bill, is bringing a little bit of sparkle to the palate.
Okay, yeah.
I'm definitely getting a little bit more pizzazz on the palate.
Okay.
And then the finish is nice. Like it is definitely blended, I think, in such a way where everything is like pretty relaxed, despite being a 29% rye mash bill. Typically that could bowl over a blend.
That's true.
But this is blended in such a way where things are coming together really nicely. I still taste the finish, like a minute and a half later from taking the sips that we cut out the post-sip waiting and processing period. But yeah, the minute and a half later, I'm still tasting like the nice oaky honey finish. I think that's what, to me, this lineup is pretty surprising, is how much honey forward flavor I get on it, which is not something I typically get on a lot of like Kentucky bourbons, which tend to be a little bit more caramel, vanilla, oak. These are just so much more honey forward, and in a way that I personally do enjoy quite a bit.
Okay, so having tasted this one and then going back to it, I do think this is a better whiskey. I think in my mind, I had romanticized this first one because it impressed me more than I expected. And again, to your point, expectation management is a big thing for me. So I had low expectations and this exceeded that. So I think I maybe propped it up a little bit higher than it should be. This is good. These are both good, but this is better than I thought originally.
Here's the thing. This is a special release, limited amount of bottles. It is $100.
Okay.
So only you can decide if you want to pay $100 for a bottle or not. But yeah, I think it's good whiskey. I think I would reach for the first glass as just like not really a Glencairn pour like this. I would throw it in a rocks glass and just sip on it while I was sitting outside, hanging out with family.
You put it in a rocks glass with no rocks.
Yeah.
You just specify that.
I think these would hold up well on ice too, but I would throw it in a rocks glass. Personally, I don't like cold whiskey, so I'd throw it in a rocks glass, no ice, just neat, and I would just sip it and enjoy, and it would be a great pour for that. Yeah. Whereas this has more nuance. I can put it in a Glencairn. I can kind of focus on the layers and the nuance. But yeah, really enjoy it. Man, I just love that honey forwardness. Like, I just don't get that out of a lot of distilleries.
I do want to say, though, while you're getting the honey, I'm not. So it's not overbearing. It's not like...
heavy-handed.
It's not like Jack Honey. It's not like you're drinking a honey-flavored whiskey. There's a honey influence, but I'm not picking up on that. So it's subtle.
Yeah, 100%. You ready to get into the single barrel?
Yeah.
Now, this is 5 years old, and this is back to the 80% corn, 10% rye, 10% barley mash bill.
Okay.
It is 115 proof, the Alan Jackson single barrel here, and it says...
Do these all have his sticker, his face on it?
No, they don't.
Oh.
I don't know if that's because they dropped him off over here or not, and they just stuck that little Alan Jackson sticker on there, if you can see that. But yeah, that's just kind of cool. But anyways, yeah, the single barrel, I mean...
saw that.
115 proof.
Okay.
I tend to like single barrels. We tend to like proof. I don't know if that means we're going to like this one more than the rest or not, but let's get it on the nose and find out.
Okay.
By the way, I will say, as you're smelling this, that 80% corn, 10% rye, 10% malted barley mash bill, it's not something that's on the market much. Like this mash bill in the birthday whiskey is unique to it. These other pours, that mash bill is out there on the market, just not a lot. Okay. So it's nice to be able to get this mash bill with age statements. I don't know of many places that you can do that.
Gotcha.
So very interesting.
This smells like ethanol. I'm getting alcohol fumes off of this one.
Yeah, the proof definitely makes itself known. This has a lot more punch and presence and power on the nose. But again, I'm getting that kind of honey forwardness in this. There is a through line here.
Yeah. What's so funny is that I just said I wasn't getting honey on this second pour. I smelled this, and then I went back to smell this one, and I get honey on the nose once you compare.
Yeah. It's all here.
Yeah.
Like, it's all went back to the nose on the birthday whiskey, and
once
it's really
you smell
good.
this, and you get all the, like, ethanol fumes,
punch, yeah.
Then you smell this. This definitely smells like sweet and honey forward.
Yeah, and almost, like, richer, deeper.
Yeah.
Like, almost more well-rounded, like a pastry.
I am getting some oak on this, too.
Oh, yeah.
Which I kind of like.
Yeah. Barrel, honey, proof. Smells good to me.
Yeah.
Let's get it down the hatch. Hey, that's where it's at for me right there.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
I think I need a second sip.
That is...
Because it all just kind of, like, went right here.
It's got the power. You know, I like it.
Okay. That was a two-sipper for me, because that first sip kind of, like, fell off a cliff a little bit.
Did it really?
Yeah. And, like, I felt some stuff here, but there's nothing on the tongue.
Man, this to me brings in... It's still honey forward, but it brings in a really nice caramel note that kind of has not existed in the other pours.
Yeah.
And this feels like from 101 up to 115, that you definitely feel that.
You feel it. I think that's what I'm having trouble getting through right now. I'm just feeling the sensation on
Tingle.
my tongue, so I'm not getting a lot of flavors.
Yeah, this thing is gripping. Like it feels like it coated my teeth. You know?
Okay.
And I'm getting the hug now.
Yeah, I'm getting the hug, the Kentucky hug, or the Tennessee hug.
Tennessee hug. The old
How's that different than a Kentucky hug?
Well, I mean, it's made in Tennessee, so yeah. It's got to be a Tennessee hug. But yeah, this to me is...
Did answer my question.
Well, a Kentucky hug is with Kentucky bourbon, and a Tennessee hug is with Tennessee whiskey. That's what this is. So, yeah. I mean, this is, to me, if I had money, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown and buy a single barrel or two. I'm crazy about a single barrel. This is a fun whiskey lineup to try. Single barrel's about $60. So, I think for 115 proof, 5 year, in a mash bill that isn't out there on the market, all that much, I think there's some merit to this.
Okay, as I'm acclimating to this, I'm getting sweetness in it.
Oh, there's a bunch of sweetness.
Yeah, I just need to get acclimated to it. Also, super impressed because typically if I see like celebrity whiskey, I'm kind of like, probably garbage.
Yeah, that's what I think.
If I'm being completely honest, this is not garbage. This is delicious. Honestly, all of these. The one that wins the most impressive in my book is this one.
Just high value.
High value. I had very low expectations for the low proofness of this. Delivers.
Yeah. Well, from the team over at Silverbelly, what I'll say is that Alan Jackson had 3 rules for doing a whiskey brand. One, had to be called Silverbelly.
Okay.
That's the color of the hat that he's worn on stage for 37 years or however long he's been doing it. I think it's about 37 years.
Wow.
Also, had to say whiskey on the label because that's what he's always consumed, even though these are straight bourbons. He wanted to have whiskey on the label.
Okay.
And he wanted it to be affordable enough because he's a blue-collar guy, has blue-collar friends, and didn't want the whiskey to be so high-priced that it's, completely out of the stratosphere.
Yeah.
And he wanted him and his daughter wanted say in what goes in the barrels so that they know that the quality product's going out there.
I respect that. That's cool.
Yeah. So,
I like it, honestly. I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah. I mean, we don't do a lot of straight reviews on the channel, but
No.
we got these bottles. I did try them, and I tried them when I was sick,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't taste anything. And then I went back to them and tried them again, and I was like, that's pretty good. And then I actually, if you look at the fill level in these bottles, I drank a little bit more of them than I probably should have
Because this
before
is the first
doing a
time
review.
I'm trying any of these.
Yeah.
I've not had them yet.
I kept pouring it up. This is good whiskey.
Pleasantly surprised, not gonna lie. So, good on you, Alan Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what you're doing in a lot of things. This is also one of those things. Add to the list so that you know what you're doing.
Tip the old Silverbelly cap to you. But yeah, this stuff, I think it does again bring something unique to the market with the mash bills that you're being able to taste here, especially the birthday whiskey with that unique mash bill that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
And them being as honey forward as they are, I can't name another distillery that has this specific type of profile. So yeah, check them out if it sounds of interest to you. I think the price points are right. I think the value is there. We enjoy them. You might as well if you like our palates and you align with what we like. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing to the channel. And I think going forward this year, we're going to have a more kind of just straight whiskey reviews like this than we've had in the past. So if you're interested,
Yeah, keep your expectations low from me.
yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm talking about, but you can listen to him.
And hit that bell if you want to join us for a live stream. It'll let you know when we're going live. We do that periodically. Also, while you're down there, check out the video description for a link to our Patreon if you'd like to get plugged into a really good community of online enthusiasts. That'll get you ported into our Discord server, and we're talking whiskey over there all day long. And in addition to that, that's where we release our barrel picks. Maybe we can talk to the Silverbelly folks and get down there with Alan and Maddie and pick a single barrel of our own. A little stuff and whiskey. Just put it out there.
I don't know.
You got our email.
Oh my gosh.
All right. But yeah, that would be a ton of fun. That's where we release our single barrel picks on Patreon. Bonus content, bonus live streams, all kinds of stuff going down over there. So check it out.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your views. Be good to each other. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Woo-wee. This is some of that Chattahoochee whiskey right there.
I'm impressed. I had low expectations, and it's legit.
Yeah, it's good
Too
stuff.
legit to quit. Hi.
Imagine a MC Hammer, Alan Jackson
Oh my gosh.
mashup or collaboration.
I don't know if MC Hammer was a whiskey guy.
I think the value for me is right here, but I do keep going back to this.
It's good.
There's something about it.
They're all good. Like, I like them all. I would be a buy on all of these. Even this is a little bit expensive for me, but it's not expensive for what you're getting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
And
I don't like spending $100 on whiskey, but it's not a ripoff.
Right.
For what you're getting.
And I don't love spending $100 on 101 proof whiskey, but because of the unique mash bill and the age statement, all that stuff, and the fact that, like, I think this is the type of whiskey that, because of the brand and the story and all that, you can take it and share it with people who maybe aren't as into whiskey. Like, I could take this and share it with family, and they're going to be over the moon.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
Especially because the proof point is right for them.
If I walk in with this and I'm like, hey, here's Alan Jackson's whiskey. It's 101 proof. It's his birthday whiskey. I tell them the whole
Your
thing.
brothers would lose their mind.
And I also bring a King of Kentucky. They're going to be like,
the King of Kentucky will be too hot for them.
well, they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, well, I don't know what that is. I never heard of it.
But
I want to try the Alan Jackson.
I bet King of Kentucky would be too hot as well.
Could be.
This is a really approachable proof point. 101.
But also good.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.